Man, I am proud of this group. We have not had a full team to practice since school has started. We had a lot of guys out injured. Kendrick Davis has severely sprained both ankles 3 times since he's been at school. That's kept him out for weeks. Alo had ankle surgery. Malcolm having knee surgery. DeAndre, kind of a bad back, so we have to rest him. Then we have Connor Glennon over there with a hip. Tadarius Jacobs with hamstring. Ian with the back. I mean, we have not had a full crew. And for those guys to come in this environment, in a gym that was extremely hot, and not have as much practice time together and as much practice time at all, and come in here and fight, man, that's big Memphis all the way right there. That's love. That's representing the city at the highest level, and I couldn't be more proud.
Questions? To see how cohesive it looked, given it hadn't really probably played together as much as you had wanted in practice, what do you attribute that to? Just the older players on this team?
Yeah, I think it's the older players, and also we've done a terrific job of having the guys on the sideline really watching what we're doing and really going through a lot of 5-on-0 offensively and locking in on our defensive principles, man. And we've done, our staff has done an unbelievable job with the guys that we've had on the floor to continue to teach. And the guys on the sideline are asking questions and talking, and to their credit, being the older guys, they're able to carry it out.
What does it mean to have that experience? It felt like Kendrick, even though he didn't put up huge numbers, felt like he was controlling the whole thing while he was out there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for him to have Alo next to him, to have that security, to have another guard out there, and he controlled the game and Alo controlled the game, but both those guys together is trouble because they're both really good point guards, and Kendrick is just used to, you know, taking over games. So it's good to have that finisher out there with DeAndre, and then watching Alo defend, and those two guys really work together when they have had no time together at all.
So you mentioned all the adversity coming into this. Were you surprised at how things went out there? Or pleasant?
I wasn't surprised because defensively, that's what we hang our hats on, and that's what I've talked about since June. We're going to defend. When the shots aren't falling, we're going to fight and defend, and we did a phenomenal job defensively. Now, they made 10 or 15 threes in the second half. They shot the ball extremely well, but it was contested. Some were just very tough shots. None were just wide open, just shots. They just took some really good contested shots.
Penny, you've heard us ask most of the offseason about the three-point shooting, almost to a point where you've gotten frustrated at times. You know, for y'all to shoot, 5 of 19 from 3 today, but still be able to overcome that the way you did, how encouraging is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the third game in a row we've shot poorly from 3. But defensively, it tells us who we are. That's our identity. You know, and when the shots start falling, man, it's going to be terrific.
Penny, how much is the ankle affecting Kendrick right now compared to what he could be if he wasn't dealing with that?
He's probably at about 90%. Alo is probably at about 90. Both those guys, and Malcolm's probably at 70. But they fought, man. They went out there and they fought. DeAndre's back. You know, it's off and on, so they just fought, man.
And in a recent press conference, you said that you've been waiting for your East guys to step up. How do you feel about the play of Malcolm Dandridge tonight?
Road warrior. You know, he represented us really well. We know what he can do. He's trying to get healthy. His knee is kind of messing with him mentally, but he's going to battle. He's made that promise, you know, that he's going to go out there every time and give us all he has, and that's all we ask because he's one of the most talented bigs in the country.
With those fans, did you think you were in Memphis at one point?
Absolutely. I mean, anytime you play an interstate rivalry, you know, with Vanderbilt, we play Vanderbilt in school, and Jerry's done a phenomenal job. You know, to have the fans travel reminded me of old times. And at the end, when they were chanting for us, it brought back good memories.
You were getting a lot of credit today and in recent days from some of the national media for, you know, when a lot of people are playing cupcakes to start the season. You guys go on the road, not only tonight, but also next week at St. Louis. Is that just more big Memphis the way you?
That is big Memphis, but what it is I want my guys to be able to experience the tougher teams early. I really do. I've never believed in, you know, playing the smaller teams early to try to boost it. I've always tried my best when I could control the schedule to play some tough games early. Last year we lost 4 games in a row. You know, that was extremely tough. And it was a big lesson for me, but we finished strong because of those games early. We finished strong and ended up getting into the NCAA tournament. So to play the schedule again, I believe in playing good teams early and see where your team is so you can work. You can use them as teaching tapes.
Going forward, do you see yourself using the Kendrick Davis and Lomax backcourt again?
Absolutely. You know, those guys are just warriors, man. You can't teach hard. And both of those guys have huge hearts. And, Keontae Kennedy and Elijah, the same thing. Jaden came in and scored 5 points big in the first half. And our guard play has to be special. And when we get DeMario back, man, that makes us even more dangerous.
Coach, you said that, you wanted this team to kind of be about it and not just talk about it. To come out here and, put on a display what you guys did, what type of statement win is that for this program?
No, that was a huge statement because Vanderbilt is not a pushover, man. That's an SEC team. Jerry's built a great team, has some veterans back that know how to play. Their first game at home with a rowdy crowd, man, just shows me that we're road warriors, that this is what I'm used to with my teams from high school and AAU, and it's just rounding out to getting to that from last year, and we're carrying over that energy into this year.
You said the other day that the biggest thing you wanted to see these first 2 games was fight and competitiveness. When they cut into single digits, and then you guys answered a couple free throws, and then I think it was DeAndre and Kendrick hit those 2 big jumpers right there. Is that exactly like that first moment that you saw what you wanted to see in that regard?
Absolutely. Those are closers. You got to have closers on your team to win games in college, and we have closers. Those 2 guys are great closers.
You really kind of shrunk the rotation in the second half. I think Teo had 6 minutes or something. No, he didn't play at all in the second half. Was that kind of the game plan going in?
It was not the game plan. I just went with feel. I just went with feel, man. It wasn't anything personal to KO. I just went with feel. And he was cramping up in the first half. At the end of the half, he looked a little nervous. So I just went with my gut in the second half, and the guys brought it home. Ultimate job for me to do is to get the win. And KO will be okay. I promise you he'll get more minutes. It was just my feel in this game.
I know it's only 1 game, but coming off an NCAA tournament berth a couple months ago, the IARP ruling turns out well. I know you can't talk specifically, but in the past few days, you guys have gotten some big recruiting wins. How much momentum do you feel like you have right now as a program?
It's great momentum for our program because, we're just getting national news. When you're in the news for positivity, it's great. For 3 years we've been down because of the investigation and things of that, but now that cloud is not over us anymore. And things are starting to happen really good for us. Like I said, finishing up from last year, leading into this year.
Were you unhappy with the 3-point defense in the second half, or did they just kind of catch fire?
No, I just noticed that those were very tough 3-pointers that they made. They made some tough 3-pointers, man, and it's a teaching tape for us. Like I said, if they would have won that game on those threes, then it would have been more frustrating for me. But to win the game and be up by double digits most of the game and them shooting the threes like they did in the second half says a lot about the team.
What's the teaching tape here? Offensive rebound, he gave up some offensive rebounds.
And gave up some threes in the second half. We need to guard the 3-point line better if we're going to be one of the top 5 defensive teams in the country.
Coach, early in the year, you spoke highly of Elijah McCann. How did you feel about his play?
Elijah came out and played well. He came right into the game and got an N1, played good defense, got to the glass. This was him getting his feet wet. We didn't know what to expect. I'm sure he was a little nervous, but he went out there and got his feet wet now, so we'll see how it goes from there. But I was proud of what he did today.
Penny, a lot of folks thought this would be the Kendrick Davis show, with him carrying y'all, but you had 9 players score, 3 in double figures. How nice is that to see?
No, that's very nice because that takes the load pretty much off of Kendrick. We're trying to get him to get off the ball more and then get it back. That doesn't tire him out. That doesn't let teams load up on him. He's special anyway. He's going to score in a lot of different ways. And coming back off that ankle injury, he hadn't practiced in a week. We wouldn't let him practice. And then come out here today in this environment, in that heat, unsure about the ankle. 90, I'm giving him a lot more credit being at 90%, but that was special.
He practiced this weekend, right? Like Saturday, Sunday?
No, he really didn't get a practice. We're doing 5-on-0. We didn't go 5-on-5.
So he never practiced?
No, he really never got a good practice in.
How hot was it?
Oh, man, this is the hottest gym in the country
Do you
that
remember
I've
being
ever
this-
coached
you
in.
played in here-
I played here back in the day, and I don't remember, but I'm sure it was the same.
Did it change anything for you, the heat? I mean, you
It didn't change anything for me, but for the team, it did. Those guys got fatigued really quickly. We didn't get into our pressure the way we do because we couldn't, because of the heat.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.